Hi, Drake.
What's going on?
Just a thought on your night. What was it like for you? You win there, one series. Did you expect that coming in? And take us through your night as far as what your first NFL game was like out there.
Yeah, I think it was awesome. First of all, to get out there in the stadium. Really first time since I think the day after I got drafted, being in the stadium. Other than the walkthrough yesterday, so being there with fans was a different feeling. Got sent a little chills through my body, but and yeah, just awesome to get compete against somebody else. Been going through camp, practice after practice with ourselves, and finally get a chance to come together and compete as one. I thought the guys did a great job. I thought we brought energy. That was the biggest thing. Through the rain, through the weather, in the first half, and it cleared up, and just glad that we came up on the right side, and that's what the preseason is for. I think just getting guys, having them make their plays, and it's just fun to cheer on your teammates. So for me, it's just kind of had an idea of how much I'd play the night, and just go in there and try to take care of the football and execute. And other than that, it's just fun to be out there.
Kind of piggybacking off Dan's question there, walk us through the process when Gerard tells you how much you're going to play. When does that conversation take place? Is that right before the game? Is that this afternoon? What's that like?
Yeah, kind of Coach Mayo he kind of lets the offensive coaches kind of decide, and quarterback coaches and AVP. So really had an idea a couple days before. Coach Mayo wanted everybody to know, kind of have an idea of how much they're playing. So from that point on, in that conversation is just keep in house.
Chris Ryan on your left.
Hey, Drake, just kind of on the emotions of taking the field for the first time. You mentioned you kind of took it all in. What was that like? Were there nerves? Was it some anxiety about wanting to make a first impression? How would you describe those moments for you when you first took the field?
Yeah, I think always a little nervous. I think you're not getting nervous if you aren't nervous for something. It doesn't mean something to you. And that's how I look at it. So I think nerves are a good thing. And after you get that first snap, and the play, they blow the whistle at the end of the first play, you kind of settle in. So I think being out there, like I said, just running on the field, it's just a different feeling. It's hard to emulate that in practice. It's nothing like that. So getting a chance and finally getting hit. I think I maybe got touched for the first time on the third down, the last third down, kind of got hit. So it kind of felt good to get a hit under my belt. And other than that, just fun to be out there with the guys and compete against somebody else.
Yeah, Drake, over here. Just curious, wondering how much potential do you feel like this offensive group has, and just wondering, do you guys feel overlooked at all, heading into this season?
Yeah, I think speaking on potential, I think running the football, stretching from running the football. Those guys up front, you saw it some tonight. There's gaps, there's holes, there's the running backs that are making plays, and I think the guys did a great job up front. Mixing guys in and out. I think we played a bunch of different O-line, different groupings together, and just shows the coaching and just trusting the play. I think that's the biggest thing. Our guys, I think that's kind of one thing you want to look for in preseason is just trusting the plays and execution. And I feel like the guys up front, starts with them and did that tonight. So I think it starts with the run game, and off of this offense, it all starts off playing off the run, and then from there, I think those guys limit these guys. We got a lot of guys that can make plays, and it's our job in our quarterback room to get them the football.
Kyle's behind the light over here.
Hey, Drake, obviously you only got one series out there, weren't able to throw downfield much, but whether it was in the huddle, pre-snap, post-snap, what do you feel you did well tonight, and what would you like to improve moving forward?
Yeah, I think just enjoying the moment is kind of the biggest thing out there. As a rookie going out in the first preseason game, I feel like I handled the nerves, handled the jitters pretty well. I feel like I cheered on my teammates well. That's the biggest thing, cheering on the guys. I feel like I was loud on the sideline and engaged. That's the biggest thing. As a rookie coming in there, you want to be engaged and taking a look at the iPad after plays. And other than that, on the field, not a lot happened. Through a screen for first down, so move the chains. But I think on the third down, maybe should have tried to move down the field. I think we had some stop routes at the chains that maybe could have instead of throwing the flat. But hey, that's what you watch film for.
Mike Giardi in the front row.
Drake, would you have liked to get more reps, and do you think you're getting enough reps to develop the way you want to here this summer?
Yeah, I think get a lot of reps in practice. I think practice goes to show practice matters. You got to practice translates to the game. So I think the amount of reps I'm getting in practice is great for me, and I'm just trying to take all the reps that I can get that I am getting and make the most of them. So I think kind of down more preseason. I'll be out there some more, so looking forward to that.
Same side, Bob Sosa.
Hey, Drake, following up the question I had for Joe regarding being on the sideline after you came out of the game, you had the IFB, the earpiece in. Moments like that, someone in my position may not realize like what value that has for you as a quarterback. You've come out of the game, you're listening to the play call. How does that keep you engaged? And what did you learn in all those series after your one series in terms of watching Bailey, watching Joe, listening to the play call, seeing the plays evolve?
Yeah, it's huge. It's good for you pointing that out. Just listening to the play calls, kind of repeating it back to myself. Little things like that. First time being in the huddle out in the real game. You don't want to fumble your words, or glad to do any of that tonight. But like I say, it's huge. Getting an opportunity to hear the play call, know what's going on, kind of play the game from the sideline, or have a look if Bailey or Joe tonight, or even the receivers. I told the receivers tonight, on one of the routes I knew the play before, and felt like he had a good look, and I think he went one too many steps and just messed up the timing. So just little things like that where you can kind of know what's coming. It's an advantage, the quarterback with the earpiece, what's coming on the sideline and kind of play the game, from the sideline.
Hey, Drake, do you already have an idea of how much you're going to play in the second preseason game?
I do not. Nope. I think we're going to enjoy the game tonight, enjoy the win, kind of learn from it tomorrow, and kind of get ready for week 2 once we get back here this weekend.
Hey, Drake. So you're from Carolina, grew up a Panthers fan. I know you mentioned Cam Newton being like one of your idols before. Was it cool? Was it any different? Was it special, more special playing, against them in your first NFL game?
Yeah, that's what I told Jacoby on the sideline. I think it was maybe about the third quarter. I was like, man, that's the Carolina Panthers over there. Just growing up a fan, we've been going to games since I was in elementary school. All those years in the glory days of the Panthers. I was at all of them. So it's kind of comes full circle. Grew up in Charlotte and went to high school like 10 minutes from the facility. So it was definitely a surreal moment, and was pretty cool. I went up to J.J. Jansen, who's been like a 20-year-long snapper for him, and I think he's been snapping there longer than I've been alive. So it's just cool to kind of see some of those guys and guys who grew up and saw jerseys in the crowd, kind of playing against them.